Yo, what's up? This video today is going to be all about life staff. I'm just going to talk about what I think are the best weapons to pair with it, the attributes to go with, the skills, and the passives. So I'm just going to go over all of them and where I think their strengths are in certain areas of the game. I played a lot of MMOs, so I feel like I can kind of break that down pretty well. If there's anything I miss or get wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments or tell me what I missed, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So with your attributes, life staff scales off of focus completely. So you want to dump, if you're playing a healing focus build, you want to dump a lot of your points into focus, because this is how you get your stat boosts and stuff like that. When as you're leveling, you generally want to get to at least 150. Later on, like when you're higher level and all that, because you'll get the plus 20% healing output, which is pretty fat. Just extra 20% healing is good. And then whatever kind of build you're playing, whatever other weapon you use, it'll be either of these. And then if you're PvP, you want some Constitution to bring up your health. In PvE, you can probably just dump most of your stuff into focus and then whatever other weapon you're using, just to throw extra damage out. It'll be whatever your other stat will be. Yeah, that's pretty much how the life staff builds work with the attributes. Weapon wise, since you have life staff and it scales off of focus, it's going to eat into your other areas damage, so you're not going to do as much damage, but there's ways to burst that I'll talk about later. This build that I'm running right now is like a hybrid solo PvP with high healing output and like AoE damage with, like, you know, it's not like a really heavy burst damage build, but you can get enough healing to where you just whittle people down. So yeah, the best weapons I would pair with life staff is anything that only takes one stat, because if it uses two stats, it's going to have that primary stat and secondary stat to scale its damage, so you're going to do less damage, essentially, I feel like. So yeah, sword and shield uses strength and dex, which isn't bad if you're trying to use like CCs and stuff, because I think sword and shield has a lot of that. So you can like kind of heal and then just disrupt people with like shield bashes and stuff like that, or whatever the skills are called, I don't remember. Great Axe I think is good because it only uses strength to scale its damage, so you're not losing out on a lot of damage and you can still hit pretty hard. Warhammer, it has decent CC from what I remember, like it has stuns and stuff, but it has a good single targeted damage, I think, but it also scales with just strength, so it wouldn't be a bad option too. These two have two stats also. Hatchet is okay because I think it's primarily strength, so like you could dump some points in strength and still get some like good damage because it's a pretty fast weapon. And then spear is mostly dex and strength, which I know the spear has some good CC also for PvP. It's not a bad option, but it's not going to hit as hard as like Great Axe or your Warhammer. Dex weapons, I wouldn't really do too much with dex weapons with the life staff, except maybe bow, because you can heal people from range, and this only scales with dex, so you can dump points into dex and be a like healer with a bow and just chip people off. But I don't know exactly how the damage scales. I haven't tested it, but it's an idea because it only has one stat, so the damage should still be pretty good. And then intelligence, fire staff and ice staff work well with life staff too, just because it's one stat, so your damage won't really suffer from that if you just dump points into intellect or intelligence and then some into focus, you know, or a lot into focus and some into intelligence, I mean. Yeah, I think the best weapons to use with life staff would be Great Axe, Warhammer, fire staff, ice gauntlet. Hatchet would probably be pretty good just because it's fast, and then bow. I think those are the best weapons to use with life staff, just looking at it on paper. But I haven't tested a lot of that myself, but yeah. So the gem you want to use is Amber, because 20% of damage is converted into nature. Damage scales off base weapon stat or focus, whichever is higher. And if you're playing a focus-oriented healing kind of build, you want your weapon's damage to scale partly off of focus because it'll raise the damage more because it scales off of focus now instead of just one stat, you know? And that was someone on the last YouTube video I posted for New World told me about that. I didn't even know about that, so thanks for that. I don't remember the username, but yeah, you can just comment below if you see this. Thanks. Now I'm just going to talk about the skills and the passives. So Divine Embrace, it has a cast time on it. Heal target for 150% weapon damage, costs 25 mana, and then 6-second cooldown, which isn't bad, but the fact that it has a fat cast time is just like, it's not that worth using unless you're maybe in like a PvE dungeon setting and your like main focus is being a healer. But that's the only setting I think this skill is any use at. Sacred Ground creates an area on the ground that lasts 15 seconds and heals 20% weapon damage every second. So this one's a really good heal over time for group play. Yeah, just having good heal over time is just it's nice. This one, Splash of Light, 15-second cooldown. You and all group members within 100 meters are healed for 50% weapon damage and cost 15 mana. So this one is good, I feel like, in like a dungeon setting, because you heal everybody. If you have a lot of points into focus, you're gonna heal pretty good with it. So this one's good in PvE, but I probably wouldn't use it in PvP. Orb of Protection, this is more of a PvP thing. Shoot out a light projectile that grants 10% fortify for 20 seconds, heals an ally for 10% of weapon damage, and deals 146% weapon damage when it hits an enemy. So it's a way to do damage, and if you're playing a healer, you can sit in the back, throw an Orb of Protection at an enemy. If it hits them, everyone, like all the melee around that enemy, will get that buff, so they'll be tankier. Yeah, so this is more of a PvP focused ability, and you can also, if you're solo, people are on you, you can do a light attack and hit this, and it'll hit them, and you'll get that benefit. So, and you'll still do damage, so it's really good. This one, Light Embrace, targeted heals for 100% weapon damage plus 30% more for each buff on that target. This is probably another good PvE dungeon setting heal. If someone has 30% more for each buff on that target, that would be a fat burst heal on anyone with a lot of buffs. I feel like tanks probably run a lot of buffs. So it's a good, like, I feel like it would be like a good single target heal if you're healing a tank. So it's more of a PvE setting skill. And then Beacon. Shoot out a light projectile that deals 146% weapon damage to enemies, attaches to its target, and heals all nearby allies for 20% weapon damage each second for 10 seconds. So this could be good in PvE and PvP, I feel like, but it's kind of like this skill where it does that 146% weapon damage. You can also do a light attack into the beacon, which I'll show you later. Yeah, you can do it heals nearby allies for 20% weapon damage each second for 10 seconds. It has a pretty big cooldown, but again, like if you're in PvP and you're a healer in the back, you can throw that out at either your teammate or hit an enemy with it, do some damage, and everyone in that area will get healing. You can throw it on your team also, so you can like hit your teammate with it, and if there's like a whole melee squad up in the front, they'll get all that healing. Yeah, we'll talk about passives now. We'll start here. Absolved. Life Staff, light, and heavy attacks no longer take mana. I think that's always a must take. Just because, like, if you ever do need to light attack, and like you should light attack, or heavy attack, it doesn't take mana, so you can use your mana for other stuff. Not that mana's that big in this game. Mending Touch, Life Staff, heavy attacks now remove 1 debuff when passing through an ally. So if you're like a healing focused build, I feel like this would be good. But I don't really see the use in it if you're solo PvP or not, you don't need it too much in PvP. It could be good if you're a healer, but you don't need it too much. Blissful Touch, light attacks now heal target for 20% weapon damage when passing through an ally. So this is just like if you're sending off a light attack, your light attacks heal allies now, which is good if you're like a full-on healer. It's a good passive. Privilege, Divine Embrace costs 20 mana, so it's mana cost reduction, which is fine. If you're like in a PvE setting, could be okay. Shared Struggle, if target is below 50% health, heal one additional ally within 8 meters of the same amount, which is fine. Yeah, it's another, I feel like it's more of like PvE setting, or like could be good if you're like a full-on healer in the back in PvP. It might be okay, I don't know. Rebound, if second target is below 50% health, heal another ally within 8 meters of the ally. So you can just get like a bunch of healing just off this, which is it's pretty good. Situational, it depends on like what your build's going for. Holy Ground, regenerates stamina and mana 100% faster while on Sacred Ground. So that's good in a lot of settings, but especially in dungeons or even in PvP, like just making people regenerate their stuff faster is good. Revitalize, when you hit a light attack, reduce all your cooldowns by -5%, which is fine because if you light attack, it makes your cooldowns regenerate faster. Desperate Speed, when you heal an ally with less than 50% health, life staff abilities cooldowns are reduced by 10%. So this one's good too, but I didn't take it because this build is mostly centered around solo play. But if you're playing in group settings, I feel like you should always take that passive. It's just really good. Blessed, while allies are in Sacred Ground, they are healed for 50% more from all healing, which I think is really good. But me being a solo build, I don't know if I count as an ally, so I just didn't take it. I have to test it, but that could be really good in group play too. Enchanted Justice, when hit in battle, activate a healing aura for you and nearby friends in a 4-meter radius, healing for 10% weapon damage each second for 6 seconds. Yeah, I mean that could be pretty good, but it's not that big of a heal, so I don't know if it's worth taking. I don't know. I don't think it's that worth it. Heavy attacks give you increased healing by 10% per 10 seconds, max 3 stats. Stacks. So you can get up to 30% healing for 10 seconds. This one's okay because if you can like weave light attacks in between healing, it can boost your healing. So I think this one is better to take than this one is. Shared Recovery, and I think this one just goes off this. So if you heal a target below 50% health, gain 3% of your max mana. It's okay. It's a good recovery. Purify, Splash of Light also removes 1 debuff. So this can be, it gives it more utility. So if you can like, if there's a setting where like there's a lot of like negative effects going out or debuffs, this would make this a stronger heal to have. Probably in like dungeon settings. Or if you're a PvP healer, it could be useful, but I don't know. I don't know how useful. Orb of Protection, we already did that. We're going to go to Protector's Blessing. If Orb of Protection hit an ally, they gain recovery for 10 seconds. So it's a good group heal. It's okay. Shared Protection. If you successfully heal an ally with Orb of Protection, you also gain Fortify and Recovery. Yeah, it could be good. I mean, if you just get free buffs off it. This one, Aegis, when this projectile hits, it affects all allies within a 3-meter radius. Yes, I mean, it's not bad if you want to take those passives. After a dodge, your heals are 20% more effective for 5 seconds. I took that one because I'm mostly playing solo, so I need my dodges, you know. And it makes my heals stronger. Defensive Light, when you block a melee attack, gain 5% max mana. It could be good, but I feel like you don't struggle with mana a lot in this game, I noticed. Protector's Touch, Life Staff, Light and Heavies grant 15% Fortify for 3 seconds when hitting an enemy. This is just really good because it gives you free Fortify when you're just using light attacks, and you should be light attack weaving. Protector's Strength, if you have a buff heal, or if you have a buff, heal for 10% more. So this is pretty much just like if you have this active, your heals are 10% stronger, which is better than these because you have to do stuff to get those. Well, this one's not bad, but just having 10% more healing a lot of the time is just good. Infused light beacons are area of effect is now 50% larger. I took this one just because like you have to kite a lot in PvP, and like it's like if the radius is bigger, you're gonna get that heal more. If you put it on your enemy, you have more chance to heal while you're in that if they're trying to run away or they come into you, you know. Beacon lasts 5 seconds longer, so it's more uptime because when you cast it, it almost makes your cooldown 5 seconds less with this being 5 seconds longer. So you have more uptime with that skill. I feel like it's good. Speed of light. When Beacon heals a target, it also applies 20% haste for 3 seconds. And I'm pretty sure you get that haste too if you're just in that, so it makes you faster. Glowing focus buffs you grant last 20% longer. So I think that goes off this. I don't know if it works with the heals though, but it might. It might make them also 20% longer, but it for sure works as an orb of protection. So that's just more uptime on orb of protection too. Balance. When you get hit while below 50% health, gain 10% haste for 5 seconds. Just more speed. If you're playing like a solo PvP build, you just want to be able to like be fast. So that's why I took that. Inspire. When you heal a target with Light's Embrace, target receives 25 stamina. So yeah, this is like a PvE focus build. Like hitting your tank with this, they're gonna get a fat burst heal and get stamina back. So it's like a PvE heal. Connection. When you heal a target with Light's Embrace, gain 1% of your max mana for each buff your target has. So like if they have a bunch of buffs and you heal them, you just get mana back. So it's good. If you're PvE focused, this is actually a pretty good heal to have. And then Spirits United. Increases mana regeneration for you and your group members by 3%, which also isn't too bad to take. But a lot of times you don't need a recovery. Maybe in like PvE, mana is a lot more tough, but in PvP I don't think it's that big. Magnify. When you heal with Light's Embrace, extend lifestyle buffs by 2 seconds, which also isn't too bad. If you're doing PvE, this is good. We'll go to this one. Divine Blessing. When you heal an ally, if their health is below 50%, heal for 30% more. So yeah, it's not bad. You heal an ally if their health, yeah, they heal. So it just makes your heals fatter. It's pretty good to take if you can get your points in there. But yeah, that's pretty much the attributes or the skills right there that I feel like are good and what they're good for. The next part I want to talk about is some tricks you can do with Life Staff. So there's a way to like kind of animation cancel. You can just go light attack and that. You're supposed to hit both of them. I kind of messed that one up, but I'll show you on the next one. And you can actually do it with a beacon also. So you can just go. Here, let me just kill this. All right, let's get this guy. So you can go. See how it hit both? Same with that one. 2 hits right there. And that was basically one animation. So yeah, you can literally just go and it's 2 hits. It's something you should always do. And especially with like that passive where when you do a light attack you get your cooldowns faster. It's just really good. And it ups your damage. You can probably do stuff like that with other weapons too. So yeah, if there's anything you want to test, just try it. Like you can do it with Great Axe too. Like you can hit and then use your charge instantly. Not that you really want to do it that often, because charge is useful. Or your gap close, you can use it to like kind of kite and get away, or use it to like chase someone. Yeah, it's just boom, and then see how much damage that does. But yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to show you. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. That'll help the channel out, and follow my Twitch if you want. I stream every Monday and every Wednesday now, so you can check that out. Thanks for watching the video, and see you guys later.